welcome. My name is Seewing Yee from the Yee Real Estate Network, and I'm inviting my investor, Khoi, for the second time, and I want to document his real estate investing journey. Khoi, thank you once again to do this Zoom presentation. Look, I know everybody thinking, come on, this kid looked like 14 years old. But in actuality, Khoi is you know how us Asians are. Anyway, graduated from college a mere couple of years ago. So you are what, 23 years old, maybe?
I turned 23 very soon, actually. Very soon.
Not even 23. Okay, wow. Khoi is the youngest real estate investor from our network. So congratulations with that. Just goes to show you there's never too early to start investing in real estate. Khoi, let me recap what occurred during our first video presentation. Around 9 months, you purchased your first rental property. Am I correct?
About 5 months ago, yeah.
Allow me to recap. Khoi did it on his own. Of course, his dad also motivated him as well, because your dad invested through our network several years back. For whatever reason, he passed on the wisdom to you, which is generational wealth creating, right, from one generation to another. Khoi, you are a unique individual in that you started saving your money while you were in college. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, my recollection is that during your 4 years of college, you started saving, you attended college full-time, and part-time, you had several jobs working above and beyond your full-time college study. You had several part-time jobs. And the good thing about it was his several part-time jobs that you had, you were W-2 employees. Makes your part-time jobs more credible in the eyes of a lender. After graduating from college, your W-2 job, you were able to make like $4,000 a month combined.
Something around that, yeah.
Plus, you have a good credit score. By having a very high credit score, managing your credit well, at such a young age, you're able to qualify to get an investment loan to buy an investment property through our network in Buffalo, Niagara Falls. If my recollection is correct, that investment property you purchased was around $55,000 to $60,000. Am I right?
I think it was a little bit closer to 70, so I think it was 69.5.
Good. Now, just going to show you, you do not need six-figure income to qualify to buy income property, especially income property that is so inexpensive, such as the one in Buffalo, around $70,000. You were able to get financing through our lender, and with 20% down, I believe. So you have the down payment. You have a very high credit score, way more than 700. The unique thing is your several part-time W-2 job makes your loan qualification a lot easier, making only around $40,000 a year during your last few years of college, plus your down payment savings you've been doing religiously saving and your high FICO score. You're able to get financing at 20% down payment to buy our turnkey Cashflow properties in Buffalo, Niagara Falls, with 20% down payment, which is 20% multiplied by 70,000, like 14,000 minus closing costs, like maybe around 3,000-4,000. So you total out of pocket down payment, closing costs, or whatever is a little bit less than $20,000. Am I right so far?
Yes, I believe that was around the amount.
Yeah, just a high level round amount. Then because of the rent, the gross rent on that property, I have to believe is around $850. You do the math, you do the cash flow calculation. At the end of the day, the projection monthly positive cash flow from this purchase is around a couple of $100 per month positive cash flow. Does that sound about right?
Yes.
That's good. So share the audience, since you purchased that Turnkey property from Buffalo, Niagara Falls, this past year, can you, from a high level, briefly share with everybody how's the progress of your property? What any kind of challenges, issues, anything like that?
There are definitely some things that will come up, but the team over there with Craig, they are experts in this industry and they know exactly what to handle it. If anything comes up, you shoot them a question, they answer right back. Everything is detailed there, so you can see everything that happens. You know exactly what it is, and you know how they're going to deal with it and how they're going to deal with it going forward. And it makes the process so much easier on our side, and it's truly turnkey.
Yep. Great. That's the idea. The idea is regardless of where you live, 3,000 miles away, it does not matter because we have the turnkey system in that market in Buffalo, Niagara Falls, a team that's helping all our investors for the past few years. So suffice to say, you're earning cash flow on a monthly basis, you're also getting some equity appreciation, 2 percentage points, I'm pretty sure. Also, you're getting tax benefits, tax write-offs, and you're getting the loan debt payoff by the renter is paying off all your services, monthly debts, expenses. So the renter is making you rich. At the end of the day, you have just achieved some great multi-dimensional asset class benefits associated by the first property. Now, let's fast forward to this past week. You have closed escrow on your second single-family home investment property in Buffalo, Niagara Falls once again. So tell me the purchase price of the mortgage interest rate that you use to finance this second purchase you just closed escrow on, and tell the audience briefly, how was that transaction experience with your second closing?
I was looking through the list that you send out. We saw this property, checked it out remotely, had someone show us everything about it. Everything looked good on my side. I sent a message to Caleb saying, hey, we're interested in buying this property. We'd like to get it under contract. There were a few issues, but Craig and his team were able to fix those within a week or so. Financing, very easy. I was dealing with Ian on this one. I spoke with him, and because we have that connection with him from doing the first one, he was able to get me a pretty good rate considering the environment. It was 5.8, something like that, with 0.875 points paid. The only issue is because I locked my rate in at the peak of the interest rates. It's a little bit higher than if I did a little bit later, but it's still cash flow positive, even at what was considered a very high rate in this environment.
How many points you paid for the rate buy down?
0.875 points.
Okay, less than 1 point buy down. Is that what you did?
Yeah, less than 1 point.
That's good. You're very fortunate to get a decent rate, especially the second half of last year, 2022. The mortgage rate was anywhere from like 6.5% to 7%.
Yes.
Or even higher. Again, your purchase price is so low that the different interest rates really does not matter because
yes,
I try to educate my buyers that when you buy investment property, when the price is so low, the spread between 6 to 8% mortgage rate really have very minimal effect on your cash flow. As though you do the advanced due diligence, which you did once again, but when you look at the pro forma, when you look at the numbers analysis, in fact, let's go through that. What's the projected rent of this particular property? What's the purchase price? Run the numbers.
Purchase price was $70.5K. The interest rate we got was 5.875, and that leaves, and the rent was $880 on this one. The mortgage I was looking at around 627, 630 for that. And that's at that 5.8%. If I paid less points, I was 6%. It might have bumped it up to like 650, but 650 is still very easy to cash flow with.
Right. Then you deduct the monthly property taxes, the monthly insurance, and the 10% property management fee. What was your estimated monthly cash flow?
That 630 actually includes taxes and insurance, actually. So that I don't have to consider that. Plus the expenses, I was looking at cash flowing around like about $100 or so per month.
Okay.
Of just positive cash flow.
Good to hear. It makes sense. During the inspection report period, do they have to do any kind of minor cosmetic fix up?
We looked through it. There was a few issues that they had. So one of the pipes just needed a better sealant around it, which was very easy fix. They needed to restore some of the tiling. They needed to refix some of the downspouts from outside, so from the roof. But this has been nothing crazy on this one. It's not like they had to redo an entire roof or anything like that. These are just minor things that Caleb and Craig were able to get done really easily.
Which they did not charge you. They did it without charging.
Yeah, they didn't charge me anything. They're just conditions to the sale of the property, and they were more than willing to do that for me, which I really appreciate.
Yep, that's what they do. They're very transparent and accommodating for investors. Then, after you close escrow, I believe last week, couple of weeks ago, then their in-house property management took over the process. Tell me how, is the renter already lived there or not?
This property already had a renter in it. They were already dealing with them. All I had to do was sign the contract with Craig, and working with Craig these last 9 months, he does a great job. I had no reason not to trust him.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. Caleb Kanazi, he's the go-to consultant that talk with all my investors, including you. Craig McDonald is the inspector. He did the inspection report for the house. And then Wells Fargo did the appraisal and loan, and the appraisal amount was consistent with the purchase price. So that's good. Being able to finance a turnkey rehab property, already have a tenant in place, and all your projections and expectations has this second purchase has met your expectation. Am I correct?
Yes, I will add one thing. The insurance is something that you have to look for. Caleb will reference it to you, but it's Karen Catalano that makes the process really easy as well. She can help get that all done, and I have to make sure she gets recognition as well.
Good. Nice shout out to one of the turnkey providers in that market. So I will make a note of that, because at the end of the day, Buffalo Niagara Falls, which is no different than our other market teams that we work with in different parts of the country, is a one-stop shop turnkey, one umbrella. You work with local teams; they're all very credible. That's the idea. So out-of-state investor like yourself can scale your real estate portfolio even up and beyond Buffalo Niagara Falls. I know our earlier conversation that we had a couple of days ago offline, you mentioned you're going to diversify your real estate portfolio down the road. So before you provide the details of your goals and objectives, now you need, it's very rare for, most of our investors are age 40, 50s, and 60s. For you, in such a young age, which is very rare in a real estate investment space, barely 22, you look, like I said, you look like you're in junior high school, age 14. I don't know.
Yeah. Yep. I get ID'd everywhere I go, so I'm aware of it.
Yeah, I don't want to embarrass you, but it's a good thing. You got that, you got the nice DNA from your parents. Anyway, okay, get back to the professional aspect of your goals. So tell the audience you have to have amazing motivation and commitment and dedication to do this. What's your triggering point? Why so many people out there, especially right now during this very difficult economic condition with the potential recession, with the housing correction and inflation and all the negative news going on out there, how you're able to cut through those challenges, execute and take actions? Tell me more about that.
Yeah, so it's like, as you said, this is the recession, and like I work currently, I'm working out in an area where it's a lot of people were affected. Luckily, I wasn't. But in the case that something like that does happen to me, you need something to have like a very strong backbone. And for me, I saw real estate as an opportunity to have strong cash flow. So even if something bad happens in my career life, I still have this that I can fall back on and really solidify my financial position and make sure that things will be okay long term.
Khoi, what I just hear you saying is that you felt that by buying right market, buying the right kind of rental property, especially low price cash flow properties from a good turnkey provider, you will, what you're saying, you can overcome any economic conditions that may come upon you. You can make the argument that rental property, income property, is recession proof, inflation proof, crash proof, in any proof, whatever you can come up with. Is that your philosophy?
Yeah, I'd say a very strong resistance to any of those things. This is not a luxury item. This is not a luxury brand or anything like that. This is something that people need, and someone needs to provide a chance for them to rent something. That's why in the face of the tough times like we have now with the impending recession in terms of high inflation, I'm not as worried. I can sleep safe and sound knowing that I have some sort of strong financial backing from the investments I made in real estate.
Wow, there's a very motivational and there's a very inspirational belief system. So that's good. And I wish more investors can take away from a young kid like you, 22-year-old. You can motivate all the folks sitting on the sideline, age 40, age 50, age 60. A lot of them are my members who are still sitting on the sideline because they let those economic factors beyond their control to prevent them from taking action, which is interesting. Let's take a step back. I know we only have maybe 10 more minutes left on this video. Thank you so much for your time. I know you're busy being a full-time engineer that you are working in Silicon Valley. So again, take us back to the higher level. So future real estate goals and objective. Now that you have 200 properties, how are you going to scale your portfolio? You're so young, your investment horizon is so long term. In my belief, if you continue to be consistent, continue to execute your action plan, continue to scale, then you can potentially retire, whatever that retirement definition is, a lot younger than most people. So share with us what is your high level financial goals and what is your action plan you're going to take for the next 3 years?
Yeah. So, I mean, so currently I am only doing single family homes just because those are the most affordable. But as more money comes in and as the opportunities arise, I do want to move more into the commercial side or just into the apartment complexes, looking at 3 units, 4 units plus, probably in Buffalo, Niagara Falls, and building up on my real estate portfolio from there. And then right now I'm staying focused in Buffalo / Niagara just because I really trust Caleb and Craig. After that, then we'll see where it goes, potentially doing that out here in the Bay Area, even though the prices are pretty crazy over here, but looking out here to do something similar.
Khoi, you and I discussed, I believe yesterday, you do not have a primary home yet. Do you know 30% of my investors are from the Bay Area that purchased from my network over the years? They do not have a primary home. At the time, they purchased investment properties through our network. So 30%. So
Oh, wow.
not the only one. As we spoke the other day offline, that you plan to buy a primary home somewhere in the Bay Area, even though it's super expensive still, that you go, which is fine. And you have to save up money for that. Maybe you want to do some house hacking that we discussed earlier, house hacking.
That's definitely part of the plan. And whether that's in a duplex or in a complex that's bigger, and I live in one of those,
Right.
the loan benefits there for doing a house hacking are incredible. So there's no reason why, as a real estate investor, I shouldn't try and take advantage of something like that.
I'll be more than willing to help you to do that down the road once you get ready to obtain your primary home and house hacking. I have done house hacking a number of times over my investing career. So I've been there, done that. Yeah. So as I understand.
Yes. Yeah. Once the time comes, I know exactly who to talk to.
Exactly. It appears that you have a good job with your engineering job. You don't have to provide any details. I know this is personal, but anytime I know you're saving monthly systematically because you try to live within your means or below your means, that is, because the first 2 properties you purchased, as young as you are, your father did not help you. No one helped you with a down payment. Everything comes from your own money.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's very inspirational to even people as young as you are, age 22. Most people, they just go out to dinner, spend $500 just for one night of dinner in San Francisco somewhere. You know what I mean? I'm sure
Yes.
a lot of your friends and relatives or whatever, they're doing that. They being young, they just like to party and spend money and they're not even care creating wealth through real estate, right?
Yeah, they really don't. So a lot of people don't, and it's just trying to stay ahead of the curve on my end.
Exactly. To recap, as we're concluding this presentation, it appears that you have a lot of good experience purchasing your first 2 rental property. You use our Turnkey system in Buffalo, and since you have a good experience, you've seen the rewards of owning rental properties. You're getting the equity growth, you're getting the appreciation, You're getting cash flow, passive income. You're getting the tax benefits. You're getting the leverage with the renter paying down your tenant paying down your mortgage. So seems like you are everything working out for you, and you're gonna continue to scale your portfolio to buy more using the Turnkey system. And who knows, in the future you may have 30, 40, 50 rental properties, and because you purchased out of state turnkey system wise, the most time you're gonna spend on a monthly basis to manage your portfolio is 1 hour. That is my hope. 1 hour
Yes.
per month.
Yeah. Usually it's 1 hour. They send me the statement. They actually just sent it today, and I look at it and I make my notes into my expenses tracking software, my income tracking software, and then I just leave it at that.
That's right. Anything else you want to go over around your two investment purchases so far? Any of the details, transaction wise, and what you learned, the good and the bad, and all that? Anything?
I could go on for 3 hours about it. Honestly, there's so much I could say that's good. There's not very much that I can say that's bad. Cash flow positive, and anytime there is anything wrong, I get notified quickly. I have open communication with yourself, Caleb, Craig, Ian from Maloney's side at Wells Fargo, Karen from the insurance side. I can shoot anyone an email and they'll respond back within 24 hours to figure anything out. So to people who are getting a little bit of cold feet, it's definitely worked out well for me and my dad as well. So we have a combined 5 properties in Niagara Falls, and they've all worked out very well for us. So excited to see where it goes and see how many I can acquire in the future.
I really appreciate your gratitude, your dedication, your commitment, and having this long-term view. We are getting inspired and getting motivated by a young 22-year-old like yourself. It's like, it's giving me the warm and fuzzy feeling, because you've done a real good job. You took action, you execute on your plan, you did not sit on the sideline like most people. So recap, before I let you go, just one last thing for people out there. I know you already mentioned it. So people don't sitting on the sideline being scared because they fear there's a real estate crash going on, the banking system is going or whatever, or the economy is going hell in a handbasket, and inflation and recession and all this kind of thing. What kind of parting words you have for those people out there that are still sitting on the sidelines?
From what I see, real estate is probably, if everything is going to go down, real estate's going to go down last. So if the impending doom of the world is what you're worried about, everything's going to go down before real estate, essentially. I mean, people need a place to live. So, and that's not affected by big company losing profits. It's not affected unless the world ends. Your real estate will be there.
I agree. I think you're wise beyond your years. We can continue with your journey. Each time you purchase more property, I'm going to invite you back. I want the audience to share your journey, the ups and downs of your real estate investing journey. My takeaway is, if you can do it, regardless of age, especially such a young age, that you're building a generational wealth so early, because real estate investing is about time, investing for the long term. By you starting early, you have so much potential to create your financial future beyond your wildest imagination. Khoi, thank you so much for your time, and we will do another video as soon as you finish your next investment purchase, and share the wisdom for people out there that risk investing, regardless of economic conditions. There's never a wrong time to buy real estate. Am I right?
Yeah, never a wrong time.
With that said, thank you so much for your time, Khoi. You've been really helpful. He's very inspirational. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. This is Seewing Yee with Khoi. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.